Good evening, guys. Mike here with Wilderness Warriors and Woodsman's Gear on YouTube. I've got a product to take a look at today. This really isn't a backpacking type product or a bushcraft type product. It is more along the lines of car camping or preparedness for emergencies or something like that around the house. I am actually picking a second one of these items up, and I'm going to use them together in car camping. And so let's take a look at it now. Relatively cheap, definitely budget priced. What we have here is Etek City Outdoors Products Mini Portable Butane Camping Stove. And that is it. Comes in a nice little box. Again, I believe made in China. Comes in a little nylon type vinylized stuff bag, carry bag, whatever, storage. And this is very reminiscent to me of camping equipment that was made back in the 50s that I was playing with growing up as a kid. This is basically made of stamped steel, painted, whatever. Some of it, the feet are probably stainless. The burner in here has probably got some stainless stuff in it. It's real simple. We have a clicky there, which is an igniter. We have fold-out legs that fold out on diagonals. Then you have the knob to adjust the flame, and you have stamped little feet that fold in for compact storage. One bolt that holds the entire assembly together, and then the fuel hookup. Now, what I liked about these stoves is the fuel that it uses. These things use the chafing type dish butane cartridges that you can find. Walmart carries them. I picked this particular one up at Academy Sports, but I've got 2 or 3 others laying around because I do have one of the chafing dish deals that I picked up at a yard sale one time. But the fuel is cheap. This is 250 grams of fuel for $2.99, where this canister of butane, isobutane, which is a propane mixture, is 220 grams for $5. So doesn't burn quite as hot because it doesn't have the propane mix in it, but a lot more fuel for a little over half the price. And I think for what this thing does, I think it will be just fine. Price on this, $13. I really just couldn't turn it down. It is very, very simple. And the way you take this in, on the top here, you've got the groove cut out in the ring, and you've got 2 places on here. So you hook it on one, rotate it around to the other. There's a hole for the stem to go in, and you just push it in and turn. And it only turns a little bit, and it locks in, and then that stays. So I'm going to turn this around like that. You want to crack it open just a little. One click, and this thing fires right up. What I do like about this is it allows you to go way, way down, and you could simmer easily, you know, a big pot or whatever. It's got a much wider spread out beam than something like the BRS titanium isobutane stove that's a real concentrated center spot. This is spread out probably 4 times the surface area of what that one does. It has a very large footprint for a pot or pan to sit on. In fact, so much so that I don't think that a GSI cup, it fits actually inside the corners of the feet and actually drops down even closer to the flame itself. So it would certainly boil with this. This water's already hot. If you saw some steam there, because I actually boiled this water about 10-15 minutes ago. So it's just been sitting over there cooling. But a pot such as this would fit on here. Hello, don't shake it while it's on. That pot would fit on there perfectly. You could do a 10-inch frying pan, 12-inch frying pan on there. But anything that's about 5 inches or wider is going to fit on there perfectly. So for, I don't know, $15, well, $13, and it was free shipping. Another $3 for the fuel canister. I'm going to be doing some boil testing on this to find out how long it takes to boil 2 and 4 cups of water. Since it is a bigger stove, I expect to be able to boil larger quantities of water at a time. So 4 cups is probably going to be a good test for it. That is still with the flame on low. And this thing, that's as high as it goes right there. But the fuel canisters are about the size of a spray paint can. Probably exactly the same size as a spray paint can. So easier to store than the isobutane cartridges. You can get more of them per footprint and a lot more fuel, 30 grams more fuel in each one, and a lot less cost. So for the size that this thing packs up into, 2 of those and 3 or 4 of these thrown in a box, and you've got a 2-burner stove set up to go car camping with that is dirt cheap, especially if you look at the prices on burner stoves for car camping and stuff these days. It's like $50 for the baseline Coleman 2-burner stove. You can get some a little bit cheaper going down to like a store name brand or Ozark Trails or something like that. But it's like $29 for a single burner, even at the Ozark Trails level that uses the standard 1-pound propane cartridges or cylinders. So I like these, more compact. $13 for the stove, has good adjustability on it, good pot stand. It's very stable, wide feet, all that good stuff. Just a cheap alternative and tool for emergency preparedness around your house. Car camping, like I was talking about. You know, anything where you might need a stove just for emergencies. I mean, these things work great if you need to just boil water, heat up food, stuff like that. So there you go, Etek City butane stove. Check it out. Thanks for watching. Good afternoon, guys. Mike here with Wilderness Warriors and Woodsman's Gear on YouTube. Going to be doing the first burn test today on the Etek City folding butane stove. This is the butane cartridges only for like the single burner restaurant style chafing type things. I don't even know what you really call them when they use them like that, but it's not propane butane mixture, just straight butane. So what we're going to be doing is boiling 32 ounces of water, 4 cups, in this larger pot. And the reason that I'm doing a test with 4 cups of water versus 2 is that ideally I would be using this for car camping since it is so heavy for a folding stove, but it's very compact. I'm going to be using it for car camping for larger groups with the whole family instead of just 1 or 2 people out on the trail hiking. So and I've got the stopwatch started. Alright guys, 7 minutes and 59 seconds. Maybe 5 or 6 seconds before that was when this thing started just screaming, but you can see the steam and it was just bouncing water all the way up to the top there. So essentially twice what a backpacking stove would be for 16 ounces, so I can't really complain on the straight butane fuel. I think physically it burns a little cooler than the isobutane stuff does, but performance-wise it really doesn't seem to change things as far as the burn times or boil times for water if you're basing it off of the per cup time there. So 8 minutes for 32 ounces, which is more than enough water to prepare a meal for 4 people. And so far, I really like this little stove. For a car camping stove, again, it is heavy, so not something I would carry backpacking. But if they ever do come up with an aluminum version, or even a titanium version, or even a slightly smaller version that uses these fuel cells, this is a much more efficient or cheaper fuel than isobutane for the amount that you carry, because there's more fuel in here than the large 220 gram canisters of isobutane, and this is $2.99 where the large isobutane is $4.99 roughly to $5.99 depending on where you buy it. It's also vertical. I think that makes a difference when packing it in your pack. I think it takes up less floor space. You can stick it over in a corner. They have the nice little cap on it to cover up the stem, so you won't be worrying about pushing the stem down in a pack or a box or something like that, depending on how you're using it, and wasting fuel. Connection couldn't be easier. Just hooks in here, that goes into the slot, the stem goes into the hole, and then you just push it in and rotate just a little bit, and there's a stop. Not sure if you can see it, but there's a stop in there that stops the edge just enough to lock it in. So there you go. That's the first burn test on Etek City's folding butane stove. Thanks for watching.